I have completed every bond patrol in the game, including the bond patrols for World 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or at least as far as you can get in World 5 for right now, and I used one team to do it. Today, I am going to be showing you guys that one team in action. I will take on World 5, the hardest difficulty, Nightmare Mode, with that team, and it is a team that is hopefully somewhat achievable for most people. Free-to-play players might not be able to do it, but you know, you can probably switch out a few of the characters that I'm using and make it work. I will say that on like Worlds 2 and I think it was 1 on Nightmare Mode, it requires you to use Yuno and Noelle. So I did switch out one of my characters for the SR version of their character, and my SR characters of Noelle and Yuno were not leveled up, and I was still able to clear Nightmare difficulty, so this team works pretty dang well. Additionally, you're going to want to 3-star all of these bond patrols so that you can get all of these tickets from the bond patrol star accumulation event. As you can see right now in the game, you can get up to 240 cumulative stars. I believe once the next patrol comes out for World 5, then we will be able to get 270 stars and get those last 10 tickets. But if you are trying to farm out tickets, especially for the Noelle banner that will be dropping on the 19th, or maybe you're going to be summoning on the current Eye of the Midnight Sun banner, this is a great way to get some free-to-play tickets. This is World 5's highest difficulty Nightmare Mode right here. I'm going to go ahead and click into it, and you can see it requires 189,000 battle power, or at least that's what it recommends. However, my team only has 158,000 battle power, and I've actually leveled that team up since I initially did these bomb patrols. When I initially did these bomb patrols, this team was only at 150,000. Granted, 8,000 isn't that much of a difference, but like it'll help me in the long run overall. So I just want to say you can do it with an even lower battle power than this. And so the requirements for this stage are to clear the stage, to clear it with everybody alive, which can be the hard part, and to clear with a healer mage. So the nice thing about this team right here is you have a debuffer, a defender, a healer, and an attacker. And for a lot of these stipulations for Nightmare Mode, they're like clear with a healer, clear with an attacker, clear with a debuffer, clear with a defender. And so since you have one of each on this team right here, you don't really ever have to switch your characters out unless it asks for a specific character, like clear with Magna, clear with Yuno, like it does in the earlier bond patrols. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. So the idea with this team is we're going to use Lotus as a debuffer, and then on Mars, he's like an additional debuffer because we use the combined attack of Mars and Lotus to add additional debuffs, which really helps you get more turns than the enemy and helps keep you alive. Also, Mars is a really good tank, so he'll take a good majority of the hits, he'll taunt the enemy, and it's really nice. And then as he takes damage, you'll have Mimosa heal him, and because Mars is so tanky, it lets you take on this really high battle power team. But when I was replacing units and I needed to like put Noelle on my team or put Yuno on my team, the character that I did take out of the team was Mars right here, and I kept Mimosa, Asta, and Lotus because I felt like they were all more necessary than Mars. And the one thing I will say is because I was using an SR character and you need to have them all alive, I did end up clearing the stage and clearing it with like Noelle is what it would say right here, but I did not have them all alive, so I had to go back and redo it again with this team right here. So it actually took me 2 times to get 3 stars, but the nice thing is the stars carry over from try to try. And then last but not least, Asta was my damage. So let's go ahead and get into this, and I'll show you guys just how good this team is. The nice thing about Nightmare Mode for World 4 and World 5 is that there are only 2 waves, whereas earlier on in the Nightmare Modes, there are 3 waves, but it's a lot easier, I think, to plan around 2 waves than it is to plan around 3 waves. So this guy right here is not much of a threat. He doesn't do a whole lot. The crabs can give themselves shields. Honestly, I feel like this Nightmare Mode isn't that hard. I felt like some of the earlier Nightmare Modes in the other worlds were harder, but that just could be because of the team build I have going on here. And as far as gear, the reason I'm not showing you guys gear for the characters is because my gear is all over the place right now. I'm still working on getting the gears I want, so gear your characters however you want. On Asta, the only thing I would say is like I'm doing mainly an attack build on Asta, and I have a gear bonus of the ancient gear bonus, so that's helping give him a little bit extra attack. All right, we're gonna go ahead and use Lotus's attack here. Go ahead and skip that. So they all get debuffed here, incapacitated, reduced speed. It's very nice. So whenever you use Asta's special attack here, it is going to give you an additional attack whenever they're above 80% HP. And so we're going to go ahead and attack one of these crabs. We should kill them and then be able to kill the other one. Oh, maybe we don't kill them. Okay. So instead of finishing that one off, though, I'm actually going to attack this one. Now that one's dead. And now I can use the combined attack. So this is the combined attack I was talking about. It's really good because on Mars' side, inflicts a reduce all attack level 1 debuff on the enemy for 2 turns if their mobility is 50% or less, and then 40% chance to inflict taunt on an enemy for 1 turn. So the nice thing is we used Lotus ultimate before this to do mobility down on them. I don't know if they're below 50% necessarily, but that is good. The taunt in and of itself is really, really good. And then for Lotus's side, inflicts a reduced speed level 3 debuff on the enemy for 2 turns. So that's really nice as well, giving you more turns than the enemy gets, so you don't have to worry about being attacked as much. Alright, we did taunt that one. I don't think we taunted the crab, but he just happened to attack us anyways, so it doesn't matter. And then right here, I could use my heal all, but seeing as how Mars is the only one who's been attacked, I'm going to go ahead and actually just target the crab. Heal Mars up a little bit. And we should be able to kill the crab here. Asta is the carry for damage in this. And now what I like to do, I say it in my head all the time, use and abuse primaries. So you'll notice that the special for Lotus is not at all built up. The special for Asta is getting there, but you would like to have Asta special by the time you get to wave 2. And you'll do the same thing when you have 3 waves. You just try to use and abuse primaries. So use your primaries because typically they're not going to do as much damage as secondaries or specials. And I'm not worried about Mars taking damage because he can tank it, right? Especially with the healing from Mimosa. So I'll just take the extra turns. And you'll notice he's not attacking because he has reduced mobility and speed. And we just take the extra turns to build up our special points for our special gauge. And there we go. Now we're on wave 2. We should be having Asta special come up next turn that he has, which will be nice. So right here, I'm going to use Lotus's primary because it attacks all and it will decrease mobility on all characters, potentially. All right, now we have Asta's ability and we'll attack the crab. Crab is above 80%, so we can take the extra turn, and I think we will finish the crab off this time because the other 2 were bad to attack, and these guys don't really do a ton of damage, so I'm not too worried about them. They can do some if you're not careful, but it's not a big deal. Alright, and we'll go ahead and just attack with Mimosa. So that's how much damage they do. Not a ton to Mars, but if they attack one of your other characters, you can see they do quite a bit. But when it comes to Mars, Mars tanks it just fine. Alright, we'll do decreased mobility again. And now we'll do our combined attack. And we'll do a group heal this time because there are 2 characters who need the heal. And you can see how this is really easy, even though I'm way under leveled for this technically. It's been very easy because we do have Mimosa for healing, Mars for the insane tankiness, and Asta for the damage. And hopefully most everybody has at least 1 copy of each seasonal character, so this is possible. The hardest characters for you to get are probably going to be Mars and Lotus. Hopefully you got Lotus on the reroll draw, so really then the hardest character for you to get is probably Mars. Alright, we'll go ahead and decrease mobility again. We'll go after this one. We want to just try and kill this one now. Asta and Mars are kind of low, so I'm not going to need the revive, so I might as well just top off both of them. There we go. Now they're both full. And we should be able to kill this one right here. Really close. Okay. Not quite the kill, but we were close. This will kill him. Alright, and now we just have 1 left, and with 1 left, I don't even feel threatened in the slightest. These guys are so cute. You just want to give them a hug. Honestly, Nightmare Mode on World 5 is like, it doesn't feel like Nightmare Mode. World 3 is the scary world with like the zombies and stuff like that. This is like nothing. Extend the debuff duration. Go ahead and do this, see if we can... Oh, we did not stun him. Okay, that's fine. And we have Asta's ultimate, so we're chilling. And there we go. We cleared it with all the stipulations meant for the stars. Everybody was alive, and we cleared it with, what was it, a healer mage? Healer mage was Mimosa, so easy peasy. The hardest difficulty of the final world, so the highest battle power, cleared. Nightmare mode, done. And that is how I cleared every single bond patrol in the game, from hard mode, easy mode, and nightmare mode, with just that one team right there, switching out characters, like I said, when needed, and mainly I switched out Mars. So if you guys are looking for a character that could potentially replace some of these characters, first off, a good defender to replace them would be this Radis right here, Radis, however you say his name. Yeah, you can never pronounce it right. He's a really good defender. He could take Mars' place. In terms of damage, you could use Seasonal Yami.
Hey, Brad,
Seasonal Yami can do a good amount of damage. If you pulled the new Licht, Licht could be a good damager for you, so you could use him. In terms of support, if you don't have Mimosa, go down here, you could use SR Charmy. Not support, rather, because support and healer are two things, sorry. If you don't have a healer, if you don't have SSR Mimosa, you can use SR Charmy as your healer, and she's really good. You would need to get her to LR though to be able to use her. So there's just a couple of ideas for you guys if you're trying to think about how to use this team, but you don't exactly have everybody and you need to switch people out. Try those out, and if this helped you out at all, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.